The spectacular, cathartic, relentlessly entertaining, and rewarding Flyboy episode of Reacher's second season concludes the show. Furthermore, the beginning is quite terrifying. You may recall that our brave ex-military policeman gave himself up to Langston in exchange for information that would help him rescue Dixon and O'Connell. Hit the brakes and they'll fly right by is like Tom Cruise promising Tim Robbins that he will. Despite having both wrists bound behind his back, he manages to defeat 8 of Langston's armed men. Neagley, meanwhile, is outdoors. By eliminating 2 armed guards, she neutralizes the perimeter using a sniper rifle. At that moment, the 3-person security detail assigned to Lavoie jumps from the rooftop of the facility. The gate guard is distracted by Neagley. The electricity is turned off by Lavoie's squad. For AM's sale, Langston is collecting all the microchips. Jack takes a thumbtack from his boot and uses it to open his handcuffs as lock. Everything goes haywire after that. Langston admits to sneaking past security by using Swan's finger and eyeball. Jack is about to murder Langston's entire crew when Langston reaches for his gun. That Neagley is still alive is news to him. He feels dissatisfied. After shooting O'Connell in the leg, Reacher is shackled and orders to place his hand behind his back. A helicopter is then ordered into action by Langston's companions. They cling to their gurneys as before. To make it appear as though he was responsible for the heist, Langston utilized Swan's fingerprint and retina scan, as he explains. He would then appear to have fled with the money. At that moment, the illumination stops. With his hands released, Reacher, Alan Ritchson, is escorted into the chamber by Lavoie's squad. Playing whack-a-mole becomes the norm from that point on. When Jack's ammunition runs out, he snatches the gun from the villain and murders him. Jack proceeds to murder someone else and seizes their firearm. Wash it again. While Dixon and O'Donnell apprehend the men defending the chopper, Neagley, Maria Sten, eliminates 2 of them. She steps foot in the building to help out her former employer. Cover fire is what she does. Like the Kool-Aid Man, Reacher dashes through glass panes to board the plane, just before he leaves. Although it does, he skillfully seizes the rear wheel and clings on for dear life. Also read. After the franchise turned him down the first time, Alan Ritchson was sure he'd have another chance. Okay, who else besides Reacher? In contrast, Robert Patrick's Langston is on the verge of throwing Dixon out the back as the scene opens. To open the back door, Langston says. Our beloved ex-member of Parliament steps in at that point. As Jack attacks Langston and his goons with punches and kicks, he gets a knife wound to the forearm. Unintentionally, Dixon is shoved ahead. As the gurney plummets from the chopper, Reacher seizes it. The gurney, Dixon's, Serene de Swan body strapped to it, sways in the chilly night air while Jack clings to her. A decent guy goes on and on about how he's going to use brass knuckles to murder Reacher. He is seized by the former lawmaker. Dixon releases her handcuffs. The blade that belonged to her ex-boss is in her possession. The man's neck is stabbed by Dixon. After that, Langston gets punched by the ex-MP. The pilot is held hostage by Dixon. Langston cries out for help, explaining that Jack needs him to find the buy's location. But assumptions kill in investigations, Reacher warns Langston. Tragically, he kills himself after hurling Langston from the chopper at great height. The location of the AM's waiting spot is already known to Reacher thanks to the pilot.